Sea Ray. Founded in 1959, it was the first manufacturer to use fiberglass in pleasure boat construction, and it remains the most recognized name in recreational powerboating more than 6 decades later. A model history 4 generations deep, a dealer network coast to coast, and a used market loaded with options at every price point. But that reputation does not protect every configuration equally. Some carry documented construction problems buyers only discovered after the check cleared. We are breaking down the 3 worst and 4 best Sea Ray configurations to own. Stay until the end. The best models are not what most buyers are shopping for, and that gap is exactly where the value lives. The first configuration to avoid is any Sea Ray sport cruiser in the 40 to 55 foot range built between 1995 and 2002. The issue is the balsa-cored hull bottom, documented in a full 5-page investigation by Powerboat Reports that included a formal written response from Sea Ray. Balsa-core sandwiches wood between 2 fiberglass skins to reduce weight. Above the waterline it works. Below the waterline, any improperly sealed fitting, any microfracture in the laminate, or any screw hole not correctly routed becomes a direct water entry point. Once water reaches the balsa beneath a hull pounding through chop, hydraulic erosion begins. The repeated slamming compresses trapped moisture at pressures that mechanically shred the core from the inside. Core samples pulled from affected hulls came out as brownish pulp, structural laminate ground to mush, while the outer skin appeared untouched. A sounding mallet and moisture meter are non-negotiable before any offer in this window. Sea Ray phased out balsa hull bottoms beginning in the 2001 model year. Any boat in this size and era needs its hull identification number verified with Sea Ray before money changes hands. The second configuration to approach carefully is any Sea Ray from the late 1990s through the mid-2000s that has spent seasons in the water with a wet bilge and no documented stringer inspection. Sea Ray's construction during this period used fiberglass tabbing laminated over plywood structural members. The secondary bond between stringer tops and the hull skin delaminates under 2 conditions: when engine mount bolts are over-tightened during service, and when bilge water is left to sit rather than being pumped dry between uses. Any penetration point, such as a bilge pump, a through hull, or a transducer, if installed without routing the plywood away from the hole first, becomes a moisture wick directly into the wood. The physical tell is flex underfoot in the cockpit sole, combined with brown discoloration along the stringer bases in the bilge. Full stringer replacement means cutting out the sole, grinding out original tabbing, and re-glassing the entire structural grid from scratch. If a listing in this window is priced below market, the bilge is likely why. Look there first. The third configuration involves a specific mechanical failure documented across the Sundancer community that ties directly to complete engine loss if left unaddressed. Sundancers of this era routed raw seawater through cast iron exhaust risers to cool outgoing exhaust gases. Internal corrosion gradually erodes the wall between the exhaust passage and the water jacket. Once that wall breaches, water back-siphons into the engine cylinders. When the boat shuts down and exhaust pressure drops, water does not compress. It locks the engine on the next start. Owners have documented complete engine losses traced directly to risers that went past their service window, cases where riser replacement would have cost a fraction of what the rebuild did. Mercruiser certified technicians placed the riser service interval at roughly 300 to 400 engine hours, with saltwater use compressing that timeline significantly. A Sundancer of this era without replacement records is carrying that liability into the sale. Pull the risers, inspect the passages, check the casting thickness. If documentation does not exist, price the work into your offer. The SLX 260, introduced in 2022, is the first Sea Ray model ever designed entirely by an all-women team, led by Senior Design Manager Carrie Fodor and Brunswick Boat Group senior industrial designer Kristen McGuinness. The two designers were named 2022 Designer of the Year at the IBI Metstrade show for this work. The functional decisions are visible throughout the boat. Airflow gaps between cushion sections prevent the moisture accumulation that destroys upholstery on boats with sealed interiors. A removable storage caddy sits at cockpit floor level in space that would otherwise be the inaccessible engine compartment. The outboard version runs a single Mercury Verado 300 V8, reaches 48.2 miles per hour in documented testing, and planes in 3.9 seconds. The SLX 260 won the Miami International Boat Show Innovation Award, a Neptune Award, and was named a 2023 top product by Boating Industry magazine, Sea Ray's 8th such recognition in 10 years on the list. Current SLX sport boats carry a 5-year bow-to-stern warranty, plus a lifetime structural hull and deck warranty to the original owner. The SDX 290 earns its place because of one structural decision that changes what a family can accomplish on the water all day. The 290 runs a deep V fiberglass hull with 21 degrees of D-dries and a beam carried all the way forward to the bow rather than tapering at the waterline as most deck boats in this class do. That single choice creates interior volume comparable to a pontoon boat's social capacity on a monohull that actually handles through chop. 16 occupants at rated capacity. Cockpit seating converts between forward and aft facing configurations at anchor or underway. A wet bar with an integral sink is standard from the factory. The outboard configuration removes the stern drive's below waterline maintenance exposure entirely and opens the stern for unobstructed swim access. The SDX 290 outboard carries the same 5-year bow-to-stern and lifetime structural hull warranty as the SLX lineup. For families anchoring at sandbars or running all-day cruises where passenger comfort across hours matters more than top speed, this is the model built for that use. At 40 feet, the SLX 400 outboard is the largest bow rider Sea Ray produces. The original stern drive version won an Industry Innovation Award. The outboard configuration solves what pushed buyers away from large stern drive sport boats, engine access, and long-term durability in saltwater. Triple Mercury 5, 8 Verado 300s move all drivetrain hardware off the transom, eliminate the stern drive maintenance cycle, and free the swim platform entirely. Documented sea trial testing shows a top speed above 50 miles per hour, with a plane-out time of 4.8 seconds. The interior includes a cabin sleeping 4, dual 16-inch Simrad touchscreen displays at the helm, and a fold-down starboard swim terrace that extends cockpit beam by 3 feet at the waterline. The Fathom e-Power system, a 22 kilowatt-hour lithium battery bank, replaces the onboard generator and powers all systems including air conditioning for approximately 8 hours without shore power. Centon 3L warranty coverage runs 3 years bow-to-stern and 10 years of limited structural hull and deck protection to the original owner. The Sundancer 370 outboard is Sea Ray's complete reinvention of its most iconic line. The Sundancer name has been in continuous production since 1975, and it effectively created the American Express cruiser market. Sea Ray built the 370 from the keel up at the Brunswick Boat Group Technology Center, a shared research facility drawing on Sea Ray and Boston Whaler engineering. Company president Steve Langley confirmed it as the brand's future, not a replacement for the 350. The 370 runs 3 Mercury Verado 300 engines, or optional twin Mercury F12 600 engines, with joystick piloting standard. Documented testing with the triple configuration showed 50.8 miles per hour and a plane out in 5.7 seconds. The 12-foot beam is 8 inches wider than the 350. The hardtop runs full glass from windshield to overhead, open boat sightlines with enclosed protection in weather. The bow is a reconfigurable social cockpit, rather than the fixed foredeck Sundancers carried for decades. The cabin sleeps 4. An optional Seakeeper 3 gyroscope stabilizer holds the platform level at anchor. Senton 3L coverage runs 3 years bow to stern and 10 years of limited structural hull and deck protection to the original owner. The thread running through every entry on this list is the same. The worst Sea Ray configurations are not poorly designed boats. They are boats where material and mechanical decisions, standard in their era, create predictable, documented failures when time and water work against them. The best models are where every one of those vulnerabilities has been directly answered. Materials that do not rot, power systems that stay above the waterline, and engineering built on 6 decades of hard-earned lessons. Knowing which side of those timelines a specific boat sits on is the only question that matters when evaluating a Sea Ray, and now you know exactly where every line is drawn.